So thank you for coming to my opening party. As you all know, this party is not only about opening the space, it's also about raising awareness for chronic pain and neurodivergence. We're going to talk about some of the conditions that we have. I personally have, and I know some of you as well have. And we're going to and that's actually why the zebra. So the zebra is a symbol for this condition. It's recognized by the National Health Organization and by also the Ehlers-Danlos Society organization. So this is a global symbol, and that's why we're embracing this symbol today. And I will introduce as well my sister. She's my co-founder of ParaMotion. I will tell you a little bit about ParaMotion. You can see it right now on the screen. This is also what we're celebrating the launch of ParaMotion EDS Movement Therapy. Maya, if you want to say a word, say hi.
Hi, everybody. Very happy to be here.
Okay.
My name is Maya. I'm Ina's sister and helper for in this project. So, as she said, we share information and educational information as well about the disease to spread awareness. So, if you have any question, please just ask, and we will go through the main things while going through the website and the blogs.
Yeah, perfect. And Elizabeth is also going to be a co-host today. So thank you, Elizabeth, for your help and for being here.
You're welcome.
I will also thank. Yeah, awesome. I will also thank Luti for building this space and helping out. Thank you so much. And if you want to say anything, Elizabeth or Luti, before we start, we're good. All right. All
Yes,
right,
I want
then let's.
to say something. I want to
Yeah,
say
tell me.
something that your vision was amazing, and you, with your words, you managed to inspire me and to make all this. And no matter, don't live here, people don't believe in us. This is just a glimpse of all the things she's planning to bring into the metaverse. This girl have a big vision. She is a great artist and a very, very good person.
Thank you
Enjoy.
so much, Luti. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, this wouldn't have happened without your support, so I wouldn't be here. So I'm very grateful. Awesome. All right, so let's
You are
begin.
welcome.
Well, first of all, how many of you here know what EDS is actually, or HSD? I know some of you maybe know, so I will just briefly talk about what it actually means. EDS stands for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it's just called like that because the scientists that discovered it are called Ehlers and Danlos, so it's not really a scientific name. And another name that is also commonly used is hypermobility spectrum disorder, and that's why it's HSD. And what that really means is that we are born, it's a connective tissue disorder. So people like us are born with a collagen deficit. What that means is our connective tissue lacks elasticity, lacks strength, and lacks structure. And that translates all over the body. This condition was discovered in the 1910s, but very little research has been done in this condition, mainly because it's invisible. Like when you look at a person, you don't think this person is suffering, this person is struggling with chronic pain, and they have a lot of hard time. So since it's so invisible, a lot of people are misdiagnosed with other conditions. For example, you might be diagnosed with IBS for the stomach symptoms. You might be diagnosed as well with depression, anxiety, and a lot of comorbidities. For example, ADH, autism is also a common comorbidity to EDS, and they all connect together in such a fascinating way because we are all connective tissue. All of our body is connective tissue. So if it's damaged somewhere, obviously it's damaged somewhere else. And the research now is growing and evolving rapidly, but it's still not a lot of funding going there. So we need more awareness, and we need more people to engage with this and know about it and understand that other people who have this condition, even though they maybe look fine, they still are struggling and they need help and they need solutions. So this is mainly the definition I was gonna share. I don't know if Maya wants to add anything here.
I just want to add that usually EDS considered a more severe version of HSD, and sometimes some doctors don't consider HSD as a disease, so only diagnosed according to the criteria of EDS, and if you don't reach those criteria, you're considered fine, even though you're equally suffering, so your pain is not acknowledged. But a recent study showed that actually it's only in September 2024, so like 2 months ago, showed that both have the same genetic origin, so they're both the same disease with different variation, which is a huge advancement in understanding this disease and for people who suffer it.
Yes, yes. I mean, for me as well, when I realized, okay, this is the same disease, it's made it so much easier because you have to explain EDS and HSD, and like you get a little bit lost with the criterias and what is this and what is that. But I think in general, we all, no matter how severe, some people maybe have mild symptoms, maybe some people have it a bit more severe, but all of it is real and it's genetic based. And some people maybe don't suffer the symptoms very early on in their life. Maybe in their 40s, in their 50s, they all of a sudden they're requiring surgery. Things are falling apart, and they're thinking it's age, but it could be something else. Because age by itself it doesn't make you sick. What makes you sick is that you have been sick for a very long time. Over time, it gets worse and worse without treatment, without finding proper solutions. Obviously, you might end up in severe situations where you need surgery and you need like emergency kind of help. So what we want to do is raise awareness for this, so you don't end up in that situation, obviously, where you are in severe conditions and you need complicated measures. There are measures that we can do today and every day that makes it easier for us with age. Even with age, we can still survive and make this a lot easier for ourselves. So I will talk a little bit about ParaMotion. And what does it really mean? What is this ParaMotion? What does it really mean as a philosophy for treatment? Basically, all of us who have it are also including, when I talk about it, I'm including also EDS and autistic neurodivergent individuals as well. We are stuck in fight or flight. Our nervous system is always turned on, and we're always feeling, when you're like attacked by a bear in the wild, and you're running around, running around. And for us with this condition, it's like never turns off. It's not like we sometime, okay, the bear is not there, we can lay down and sleep and everything's fine. So we're constantly in that alerted state, and that alerted state makes our body not work optimally, obviously. So we are not able to focus, which also translates into ADHD symptoms. We are in pain, we cannot sit still, we cannot sleep well, we cannot digest well, we cannot rest. So that's why we started our method with, first of all, we need to learn to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic, that's where paramotion comes from. So the parasympathetic nervous system is the one responsible for calming down, for healing the tissue, for resting, for digesting, all of the really essential things that your body needs to survive and function well. So what we can turn that on by movement and by breath and by working and educating ourselves on these conditions, we can start to learn and differentiate when we are in sympathetic state and when we want to be able to turn into a parasympathetic state. And once we reach that safety, that feeling of we can breathe, we can be a lot, not alert but more calm, then we can start to build strength and stability. But without building that foundation of and being able to activate the parasympathetic system, no matter what exercise you will do, you might end up in injury, you might end up in more pain than when what you started. So there's a lot of research behind this as well. Um, I don't want to bore you with too many details, but that's basically where ParaMotion comes from. That's where our philosophy comes from, and it's handpicked from yoga, Pilates, functional strength training, mobility training, and it's all basically our slogan is less pain, more gain. So we're moving away from this toxic expression, more pain, no pain, no gain. No, we don't want pain. We want to reduce pain. The fact that we think the more we are in pain, the better it is. It's a toxic type of mentality. We need to get away from it and understand that like we can heal and we can grow muscle without having so much pain. So our goal is to have less pain and more gain. I'll talk a little bit now about my story as well, but before I move into that, I don't know if Maya, you want to comment on anything.
Um, I just wanted to say maybe I don't know if we said or not about the main symptoms of the disease. I would like also to ask other people if they suffer, for example, from loose joint. That's the main thing, like our joint are loose. Some people have very elastic skin as well. Um, so those are the most important thing to understand. And since we cannot hold ourselves together properly using our joint and ligament, so we always have collapsed posture. So we have some rounded shoulders. Most of us have flat feet. So are any of you have noticed those symptoms in your body?
When you say loose joints, what do you mean?
For example, you can go beyond the limit of the normal movement. For example, your knees can extend a little bit behind you when you stand. Ines, can you explain it?
Like more than yeah, exactly.
So you mean hypermobility, right? Like
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, hypermobility is the same as EDS, it's the same as HSD. It's just they name it so many different names because like if you fulfill like for example 5 out of 10 of the criteria, then it's like this. And then if you fulfill like 2 out of 3, it's like that. But now recent research is showing that it's all the same because genetically it's coming from the same cause. So hypermobility, EDS, HSD, when we talk about it, is more or less the same. And when it comes to treatment, it's absolutely 100% the same. So whether you have whichever one if criteria you fulfill, the treatment will not change. It's the same thing.
And then, do you mind repeating the symptoms?
Yes, of course. So
because I think it's a lot to take in for a lot of us.
yes, some people are writing hernias as well. Yes, this can cause hernias. It can also be related to scoliosis. So it's the symptoms that can vary a lot. I can talk about like the joint symptoms, muscular skeletal symptoms to begin with. So you, for example, you might be able to bend your elbow too far back, and you're popping a lot. Maybe you're popping your shoulders a lot. Maybe you hear a lot of popping in your knees. Maybe your knees also bend too much back. Maybe you suffer from shoulder pain, joint pain, low back pain is very common. Maybe you have like a pushed belly, you have the belly pushed out, you cannot access your core muscles. You have forward head posture, maybe you have neck pain, specifically, between the shoulder blade. You might have nerve pain as well. So sometimes maybe if you sit on the computer for too long, you can have pain that comes from the neck all the way to your fingers with like kind of it's like you feel like your hand is pulsing or something. So you have like this kind of electric pain as well in more severe cases. You could also have flat feet. It's actually a sign of this condition as well because we're collapsed everywhere. Our feet lose the arc loses it loses its function, so it collapses on the ground. And there are exercises for the feet as well, where you can like regain the arc and improve your posture overall. So, and that's when it comes to musculoskeletal symptoms, but you can also have symptoms when it comes to uh, when it comes to IBS, for example, you might have issue digesting and issues with constipation or diarrhea that comes and goes, or like you think you're like allergic to something sometimes, and sometimes you react to it, sometimes you don't react to it. It depends on like the level that you're starting with, of how much you're feeling.
sorry. What is the
Yeah, continue. Yeah, no,
physical
please.
link between IBS and the EDS? Like, how does it physically link? Or is it just the DNA?
So
It's the mast cell activation.
it's the connective tissue actually, because you have connective tissue everywhere. So you have the connective tissue in your digestive system, you have it in your brain, you have it in your muscles, you have it in your joints, you have it in your, so everywhere is connective tissue is everywhere, and everywhere there's connective tissue, there is collagen. And we have the problem with the collagen. That's the genetic mutation that we have, that we don't produce good quality collagen. And that causes multi-systemic issues like with IBS and ADHD. I think ADHD symptoms are, we all know, attention, you cannot focus, attention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity, all those things. So it's all linked as well to this condition actually.
We can also add easy
And what
bruising.
causes the food reactions? Sorry?
So I just wanted to add that also if you have like easy bruising on your body, stretchy skin, or
Yes.
fragile skin, or if you get hurt, for example, it takes a very long time to heal. Those all are signs as well.
Slow healing. Mm-hmm. Slow healing.
And what causes the fluctuations in the physical response to foods, for example? Like why is it that sometimes one responds negatively and sometimes not?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because it really depends.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. So because since we have problem with the connective tissue and we have mast cell also exists in the connective tissue. So those mast cell, most of us also, they will have a histamine intolerance or histamine sensitivity. So it depends how much histamine you have in your body already when you eat or when you do something. So it's either it's gonna get higher than a threshold and your body will react to it or not. For example, if the weather change, sometimes you release histamine or you have a flare. And if you eat something, you will have with more histamine. Your body will have allergic reaction to it. So it really depends how much.
So it's like a bucket reaction.
Yes, exactly. So it's
like
really
how much have you filled your bucket and then the bucket tips. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, any other things you guys want to ask before we move on to the next one? No? I hear one comment, mine mostly back issues from music and sports. So yeah, that's the thing. Like even if you have pain in your life, back pain or any kind of pain, it's not normal to have pain. Pain is usually a signal that maybe we moved something wrong, or like that we're not aligned well, in our posture. So even if you don't have EDS or you don't have this condition, just please let's not normalize being in pain. Being in pain is a sign that we need to change something and we need to improve something. It's a signal from our body telling us, hey, please do something different. And we need to kind of decode this message from our body and try to understand, okay, why is this happening, and kind of treat it from the source. So any kind of pain is something that we can work with. Awesome. Okay. So a little bit about me, my story. I think some of you already know my story actually, but I'll briefly talk about it. So I actually took me a very long time to get a diagnosis. I was sick from a young age. It started actually with sinus infections, and also I was getting sick a lot, and then the healing was very slow. And I had ADHD symptoms, but as a kid, you're still developing, so it was not as bad. And I think when I started early 20s, it started getting really bad. I started getting burnouts and stuff like this. and I wasn't able to. I was doing my education in Stockholm. I was doing mathematics degree and masters in entrepreneurship. So I was doing like hardcore stuff because I'm a scientist at heart. Like that's my passion as well. So I needed to pause from my education and go to rehab, and really like I in my early 20s, everybody looking at me is like, you're not supposed to be in pain. You're still young. You still look fine. Like, why are you in pain? And I'm like, I can't move. I cannot do, like, I cannot walk. I cannot squat. I cannot bend. Like, there was so much pain in my body that I just kind of crashed. Like, I couldn't keep going. And then when in the rehab, it was the first time I was looked at from a multidisciplinary team. So we had like a physiotherapist, we had a doctor, we had a psychiatrist, we had a psychologist, we had like 5, 6 people looking at the condition. And finally, I got a diagnosis. And when I got the diagnosis, the first reaction was like, oh, yeah, this is a genetic condition. There's nothing much you can do, but like, do this calming yoga exercises and try to stress less and live your life. There isn't much you can do about it. Just live with it. And that was, I mean, I was relieved that I got the finally the answer why it's going on like this, but it was also kind of grieving the fact that I will never be normal, quote. So it was a little bit, devastating to feel that there is no cure. There isn't much research done in this condition, and that is actually mostly women who have it. It's like ratio 3 to 1. There are some men who have it as well, which we also support, but a lot of women have it, and it's a high ratio compared to the men that have it. So there, I was disappointed. I was really disappointed with the medical system that took them so many 20 plus years to diagnose me and tell me, okay, you're gonna live with pain. Just this is just put up with it. So I wanted to do my own research since I have a science background. I started doing my own research and taking courses. So I took a course with a physical therapist from the US called Lara Hyman. She developed a new yoga methodology based on science. You can go check her out as well on Instagram. She's pretty huge in the US. So I learned there a lot about biomechanics, anatomy, and a lot of stuff. If I would dig in, I will never stop talking. So maybe for another episode. But and then after that, I also started the learning from the UK and physiotherapist that was actually has 20 years experience working with patients with EDS and giving an integral movement method that is specifically designed for EDS patients. And now basically I'm combining these two methods to create my program, which is the ParaMotion program, and sharing all the knowledge that I have. What we need is a holistic approach. We need someone to believe us. Our pain is real, and we have solutions. There is latest research, and we can holistically look at ourselves and treat ourselves from different angles. So I want to basically share the past 10 years experience of research and everything I got through to help others who are maybe in a similar situation as me and may not have as many detours. So yeah, that was actually my story. Any Maya, if you want to say something, or if you guys want to ask anything before I move on.
You said it all, and I just wanted to add something that we say about all the symptoms and all the things, but we don't have to have them all the same. For example, me and my sister have exactly the same conditions, but our symptoms are different. So you don't need to fulfill all those criteria. Like for example, me, I have more problem with breathing, with allergy symptoms. Ines has more with the digestive system, but we both also have muscles and joint pains. And that's why also we use the zebra as
Yeah.
our animals, because as they say, there's no two zebra with the same stripes. So that's also a thing. So every zebra, every one of us is unique.
Exactly. So the zebra metaphor really fits. We are all unique, even though maybe from a distance we look the same, but we definitely are unique. Awesome. Okay, so there are not many more questions. I will just go through the principles that you can use, even if you don't want to, immediately start working with us. You could at least use this these principles in your own everyday life, in your training, I think it will be helpful in any case. So for people like us, we need to activate the parasympathetic system, like we talked about. So we need to first focus on introducing movement slowly and in a safe way to be able to breathe properly. A lot of us breathe shallow breathing from our chest, but actually breath has to be three-dimensional. What I mean by three-dimensional is we have to breathe from our chest, our sternum, our ribs, low ribs, they should expand sideways and front and back. So that's why it's like 3D, and then the belly. We can do maybe an exercise, a small exercise I can show you towards the end. So once we establish that we can breathe and we are in a safe place to move, then we need to build awareness of the body. We didn't talk about proprioception actually as one of the symptoms. So proprioception is a fancy name to say that we lack awareness of our body in space. What that means is, for example, we're clumsy. I think, I don't know, if anybody is clumsy, let me know in the chat. But, you hit that chair, you're trying to grab something, you drop it. Like this kind of like spatial awareness we lack, and maybe we trip a lot. We are not, balanced. We're clumsy. So, so basically, what we need once we are safe in our space, we need to start introducing awareness of our body. One thing that our body, our human ability is fascinating is neuroplasticity. A lot of you guys know about this. When you're learning an instrument, when you're learning something new, you're building neural pathways in your brain. The thing is, when we are learning how to walk, we are learning how to breathe, we build these neural pathways, a long time ago. But what makes us amazing as humans is like, this is not, set in stone. We can still rebuild these brain map. We can still reprogram our brain, our patterns, movement patterns to become better. And the better movement patterns and the better awareness of our body that we have, the better we will feel. The pain will reduce significantly, and it will become much easier for us to, manage every day. And we will even maybe be happy some days, and be in the metaverse sharing our story. So there's a lot that we can do here. Once we have established the awareness of our body, and then we can start building stability and strength and functional strength training. So okay, it's amazing if you can, do a lot of crazy stuff. I see people in the gym trying to show off and stuff. I mean, like amazing, but can you really walk? Can you squat? Can you sit properly? Can you, do the functional things, the everyday things? I think if I want people to show off, show me off how good you are in your everyday life and how little pain you have. I think we need to also establish these kind of ways that we're building strength and stability in a context. We're doing this in a context that helps us every day, not only when we go to the gym, not only when we are on the yoga mat, also off the yoga mat. It has to translate. We have to feel it in our everyday. Otherwise, the training is not doing well. So that's why the functional stability and strength for us is building the strength and stability in our body to be able to integrate that in our everyday. And eventually, once we have the stability, the strength, the activated nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, and the awareness, then we can really integrate all of that as a whole and start feeling our body as a whole, integrated whole, rather segmented parts, and start flowing, introducing more complex movements, bigger patterns, and really flowing, but flowing feeling as a whole. I think that's when I started feeling as a whole and feeling my body center and feeling the gravity and feeling all of these things, it was a complete shift. It's an amazing feeling once you get there. So these are the steps I recommend and I follow in my training and with my clients, and also what I offer in my program. I don't know, Maya, if you want to say anything here.
I just want to add, in addition to your thing, to what you said, that in the beginning, when we start and we start focusing on our breathing and relaxing our muscles, it is a bit of emotional experience because we have this tendency to feel very tense in our body because we're not very stable. So we feel we need really to tense our muscles to keep us like standing straight or like to be able to feel safe. So it was a very emotional experience for me when I like learned how to breathe and just relax my muscles. I even sometimes like I had tears in my eyes. So I know for a lot of us it won't be like a simple experience. It's also emotional, and we need to be like ready for it, but we have the support for it as well.
Exactly. Like if you jump into doing a handstand right away, I can tell you many things why that's not the right way to go, you know? It's really just starting slow, being patient, and, just being able to be in your body and be with your breath and be able to move from safety, not from this feeling of fear or, it's not like, it's one of the things that I'm realizing also. The movement, when we move, we need to have the least muscular tension and the least effort. Movements shouldn't feel so effortful. If it feels very effortful and that you are really pushing and forcing, something is not working. So we need to move in a way that feels effortless. It feels natural. It feels organic. It feels flowy. So that's something that I think will really be transformative, not only when you are working out, but also in your everyday life. So it will be really transformative. I'm really happy. I'm seeing the comments. A lot of people are excited and happy about this information. So if you would love to join our waitlist for our program, you can do that here on our website. Just click the save your seat button. And here, if you click that, you could go to fill out your name, your email, phone number. You could also tell us which of the conditions you are mostly interested in. Did we talk a little bit about MCAS? Do you guys know what mast cell activation syndrome is?
We can also refer to during the blog.
About
Yeah.
tell us more.
Tell us more. Okay. Maya, maybe you can explain a little bit about mast cell activation syndrome. It's linked as well to EDS, HSD, hypermobility, ADHD. It's all connected. So this is another layer of the puzzle, I would say.
Yeah. So mast cell activation syndrome or mast cell disease, we have the mast cell as the first defense mechanism in our body. Like this is our defense system under against virus and against everything. So and when they fight those viruses or they fight to protect us, they release different chemicals. So for the mast cell disorder, those cells sometimes they release these chemicals without having a good reason, or we don't really understand the reason why. So it's as if like you're allergic to yourself.
They're overactive.
They're overactive. And since our
Yeah,
mast
almost.
cell they exist in our connective tissue, it means they exist in all our body. And it depends where they get activated, you have different symptoms. For example, for me, they're most activated in my sinus. So I have sinusities all the time. If I don't take antihistamine or I don't if I don't pay attention to what I'm eating and all the stuff. And if, for example, if your mast cell activated in your digestive system, you will have more IBS symptoms. And it depends also, when they are released, they increase the inflammation in the body. So you have sometimes a little bit of low fever, feverish things. It really also impacts your whole body in different ways.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, mast cell is immune cells, and the immune cells, because of our genetic situation, they're overactive. And for minimum kind of exposure, like the bear example, when you're in the wild, you see a bear, and then like your nervous system has to turn on, right? Because you are escaping a bear. But for us, if you see a butterfly, it might trigger the bear response. And that's the problem. Our body can't differentiate the butterfly from the bear as much as very well. Any kind of trigger, maybe sometimes weather change can trigger this, or it could be a traumatic event that happened can trigger this, or something stressful can trigger these mast cells, and that's the problem. And the mast cells also increase the joint and muscle pain and also increase the symptoms of EDS. So it's really connected. Sometimes you're working out, you're doing your program, but if you have your mast cell activation syndrome, you still might need to have extra medication to be able to really treat the overall symptoms, not only the EDS symptoms. So all of this we will help you with. Don't worry. It feels overwhelming right now, but we have 10 years of experience with this and research, so that's why it feels overwhelming, But we are here to help you. We are here to grow together, learn together. So even if it feels a lot of information right now, it will make more and more sense with time. Don't worry. So yeah, after that, you can choose what you're interested in, pain management, building strength, stress and anxiety. You can also talk about your experience level of movement, if you're a beginner or advanced, and also if you're interested in some educational courses on which type of courses you would be interested in. And then you just agree and submit, basically. And from there, we will receive your information. You will be joining also automatically our newsletter, and you will get our updates. And also when we launch our program, so this is an online training program, which means I will have a lot of classes already done and filmed. You will have a subscription with this, and then you can do it on your own. But if you would like to meet me in person and work with me, then you go under services, and then you can either have a free 15-minute consultation if you want to just ask some questions, just get to know what kind of service is best for you. And then if you want a private one-on-one with me, then you can book that as well here. And if you want to book several consultations at once, you can do that as well. And yeah, so basically they just go under our services and book what fits you best. And other than that, I also recommend, we have a lot of stuff for free, which is the blog. The blogs are insane amount of information. We have a lot of blogs, a lot of information, and a lot of the information we already talked about today is in the blog. So, for example, this blog is talking about the October slide. So usually when the season changed from summer to winter, that's a major flare for us with MCAS, EDS, ADHD, or autism. So we feel the change in the weather internally on a cellular level that can increase our symptoms, decrease our energy, and it can really feel like a dip, and sometimes you don't know why you're dipping during this time. And now you know. So there's also PMDD. I think Maya, maybe you want to talk about PMDD a little bit.
Yes, and also there's a new study showed that people like us, like 75% of women with EDS or hypermobility or even ADHD and autism suffer from PMDD because we are very sensitive to any hormonal fluctuation. So when the hormones fluctuate, they also make us flare if we have MCAS. And also the hormones impact how we feel in our body and our joint and muscles. That's why we feel much more than this fluctuation than other people, and it really impact our well-being, like anxiety and depression gets really bad during these periods. So we really need to address all the other things, like we need really to pay attention to our histamine level, to our inflammation. We need to reduce inflammation, and we need to reduce our estrogen as well. Not really, because histamine also increase our estrogen. So having EDS and MCAS and all this can also lead to hormonal imbalance. So you see, like it's all connected and multi-level thing, but to resolve them, you need to go to the source and control that. Recently has been a lot of talk about how H1 and H2 blockers, those are antihistamine, can be very beneficial with people with PMDD because they control the mast cell, which control the estrogen, would make the fluctuation a little bit less for us.
Yes, exactly. And it's cyclical. Maybe you feel when you're like 1 week before your period, you can feel a huge dip in everything, and then maybe the first 1 or 2 days you might be not able to function so well because of this, and then it starts getting better and better. Obviously, you can do a lot about this. So read about if you want to read more about the tips how to manage this, you can just open up this link. There are lots of information there, or you can talk to us as well. We're happy to help. Here we talk about some data and statistics. Like I told you now, that EDS or HSD or GGH, they're all the same kind of condition. So here we'll just dig deeply into it as well, but it's a bit technical. If you're not interested in the technical part, you can skip it. But if you really want to see some data, for example, how many percentage of women compared to men, how many percentage of the population, like in numbers, if you want to look at the numbers, it's a good one. Yeah, we're also struggling with something called PUPS. It's another connected condition. And PUPS is basically when you stand up, you might feel fainty or dizzy. You might have like a rapid heartbeat. So you might be also, if it's like too hot, you might be flaring. If the weather is changing a lot, you flare a lot. So this is also something that is very common for people with EDS, and you can read more about it here. I don't know if Maya wants to talk about PUPS a little bit.
I think people just can read this blog and have all the information they need, so don't need to bore them.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, it's almost 4. So yeah, I will wrap it up here. We talk about invisible illness, how it feels that this illness is invisible. We talk about as well, some guides on EDS, HSD, and mast cell activation and the links between them. And then also we talk about how to think about it from a whole body perspective. We talk about our method. We talk about ADSD as well and the surprising link. So yeah, lots of information here, lots of tips, all for free. Just go to our blog and you will find it. Yeah,
And
other than that,
also
I think
more blogs are coming soon about many more topics, because we don't have the time to discuss everything. So please follow our blog as
yeah,
well, and you will get to know all the details about this struggle.
exactly. This, you guys, everything we said today is the tip of the iceberg. I swear, it's like a huge iceberg. So, but I'm super happy that we are able to share this, and I'm super happy with the turnout. Like a lot of people came today to support this. I think it shows that a lot of us are struggling, and we want to stick together, and we want to support each other to find solutions. So I'm super happy we had to do this. And now, if anybody has questions, you can ask away before we start having a little tour of the space, and also show the art exhibition that is inspired by this theme. Any questions, anyone, before we move on? Any comments, anything? Just feel free to unmute and just talk.
Just one big comment. Thank you so much to build awareness on very important topics that not everyone can recognize. But talking to you, we can find our way to living more healthy and feeling much better. It's very important to make it awareness about the very unique illness that you are having knowledge about mental health, not a mistake. It's for one just purpose to find the best place in the life and feel as a human. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it from my side.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much for the support, and Choice as well. Thank you for, it's Metaverse DJing with Choice has been really fun for me, and now I'm engaging with the Metaverse in a even more meaningful way, sharing inspiration. I mean, imagine if we needed to do this in real life. It would be so hard to organize and to do this,
Yes.
honestly. So I'm super happy for this opportunity to do this event, and I'm happy to also continue to do events like this and dig even deeper into these topics.
Yeah, this is very interesting because I encounter clients in my coaching practice, and some of them may be dealing with this. So this is very helpful information for me.
Amazing. Yes, that's great. And the thing is, when you're dealing with people, you really have no idea what they're struggling with.
Exactly.
So having a bit of empathy, having that empathy and that background of like, I really don't know what the other person is going through, and if it's stuff, I trust them, I validate them, and if I know something, I maybe guide them through you could always tell people to come to our website, read more about it, or contact us, because we're here to help people, and less pain, less pain.
Well, I'll definitely count you as a resource.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you so much.
right.
This is truly amazing. I'm going to share this with my sister and my father because, yeah, wow. I did not know this was what it was, but I'm so happy that I'm here. Thank y'all.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're gonna share it, and so happy that you're here and that we could help. Yeah, actually, it's a genetic disorder. So obviously, my mother had it, and I remember when I was a kid, like I was suffering with some conditions, and when I got the diagnosis, I got these flashbacks of like, wow, that's why my mom was struggling so much, and I had no idea. And obviously now I have it, my sister has it, so it's very good that we can contact our family, we support each other in our families, and understand this together as a family. It's very important. Amazing. Anyone else before we move on?
Yes, I have a question. You,
Yes, tell me.
why is your music so good?
That's my favorite question. So,
And I listen to it.
because it's from the heart. Because it's from the heart, and I try to express myself with my music. I try to, channel all of this pain, all of this, all this ADHD, everything. I channel it through music, and that I think makes me laugh.
Mediterranean heart.
Mediterranean heart, yes, yes. So actually, one of the things, since I was a kid, when we come to the Mediterranean with my family, I would always swim. And during summers, when I'm swimming on the Mediterranean, is where I feel the healthiest. Why? Because actually, swimming, I didn't talk about it, but it's one of the best exercises we can do for us, especially for people with for zebras, for people with other condition, because it floats you, it helps, especially Mediterranean. It's salty water, it's warm water, it's not cold, because if it's cold, it might also trigger some symptoms. So it's like Mediterranean is a healing sea. It has been healing me for many years, and that's why now I'm living next to the Mediterranean to take more healing energy from it. And that's why this space is a Mediterranean island, to share that healing energy with everyone here.
Eh,
All right. Anything else, you guys? Thank you so much for your participation. I'm super happy that you guys are engaged. All right, since Luti talked about music, maybe I should put some back on. What do you say? All right.
yes.
Yeah. And then here are the boost keys if you want to dance. And if you're on mobile or tablet or VR, you can step on the plates in the front.
So what's the plan now is I will try to put a song in the background while we do a tour. The theme song of this space is called Welcome to InesLand. Oh, nice. I'm falling off the mountain. That's a nice moment. Okay. So yeah, I'll put it in the background, and then we will start having a tour. By the end of the tour, we will get to the art exhibition, which is a bit hidden. You don't see it right now, but we have like about 11 pieces of art. We have artists here as well. Ooh, you did the UFO stuff. Do you guys see the UFO? That was the Easter egg, you guys. Woo! Do you see it?
This is
Yep.
awesome. Sorry, I tell you great games, but
It's okay. That was fun. I enjoyed it. Okay, so that was one of the surprises. The UFO stuff. So yeah, we will start now with the tour, and then we will end with the art exhibition, and then we have after that a dance party. We come back here with Tuda Maxi. I think she's here now. Tuda Max. So yeah,
Yes.
here is it. Amazing. All right, so you guys can follow me. Let's start the tour.
Welcome to InesLand,
Can you
in
hear
the
me guys?
Metaverse, a Mediterranean island, where the
Here we have
sunset meets
the
the
fire.
sea.
You can sit and chill.
Join with your
Close your
avatar
eyes.
and show us your true soul.
Ines, maybe when you arrive at
And then
each
next
destination, just drag to host,
And grow
because otherwise everyone falls behind.
We share
Or I can drive
Yeah,
the
you're
host
right.
for you, you know. So when you arrive, I'll
we
just
dance to the beat
Okay, look at us. We're
and
all here
swim
now. You see, this is the fireplace.
in an
This is where we chill and hang out
we
and chill out.
meet.
And then we have a castle, obviously, which is chilling. There's a Mediterranean castle over here. You can come inside of it as well, chill around. Yeah, you can jump around, enjoy the castle vibes, and enjoy the sunset. You know, nice
We
view.
connect and heal. We stick together. We be free. And eat. We sit and
All
pass.
right, so now we checked out the castle and the fireplace. You're ready for the surprise place? We will go up the
What are
mountain.
you doing
to the
here?
parliament, otherwise
I was trying to reach the top. Ines, I think the music is a little bit loud to hear you well. For the people that are on mobile that can't turn their volume down. So maybe you
Okay,
can pause it
let
while
me
you do
try.
the tour. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
no worries. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Okay, then I'll pause the music for now, if it's better for you guys. Just everyone come here. You see here we have a jacuzzi for everyone, and on the edge of the jacuzzi you can actually. And if you go to the side of it like that, and then continue going down, you can actually go down and teleport into a place. Right. This is also even tricky for me. At the end of it.
Where?
At the end, exactly where Luti is. Follow Luti.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Wow. There's some
See?
glowing.
And then you go out of the portal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
See
hiding
here?
spaceship.
Another
Hiding
UFO.
spaceship.
Oh, don't touch the shark because it brings you back. Stay away from the shark if you don't want to go back to the beginning. You like it?
Okay. The shark is running. Wait, run, all run. Okay. Oh.
It's coming. It will take you back. Okay.
Got me.
All right. So that was the
We lost
jacuzzi area.
some people.
I was wondering what people lost. Back.
All right. So now we're gonna go
And
up the
now
mountain and go see
Try to go back.
another beach. I will bring you to me maybe. Where was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
come.
Thank you.
Let's go up the mountain.
Oh, there's
So
volcano.
there is one beach over
I
here.
see.
Yes.
Okay.
We're now hanging on the volcano. Lava Head, this is your place. This is where you can hang out.
Oh, don't go down there. There is gas.
This is so fucking cool.
You say don't go down there, and I go.
So this is the highest
Hanging.
place.
Yeah, this is one of the highest mountains. But there's the white mountain behind. I will show you. It's a bit higher, I think. Than
Yeah, the white
All right, let's
mountain
go
is
to the
higher. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whee!
So,
Let's
we're
all
gonna go to
run
the
to
sand
there
area.
and first one.
All right, let's go to the next beach, or you want to hang out more here on the volcano? I'll take you here. This is another beach. Beach soon. This is another beach, you guys, because you can never have enough beaches.
There is a lot of beaches.
Be I was careful.
This is the only way to tell it in Greek.
All right. Are you ready for the art exhibition? Then we go to the white beach.
Yay.
Yay!
I'll bring you to me. All right. We are here. The art exhibition part. Okay, we will start from the first one here. Come to me. Let me bring you. All right. So we want to make this interactive since the music was too loud. Should I keep it? I will keep it off. And then when the dance party starts, we can have it on. So I want you guys to look at this piece of art and just like interact with it. Tell us how all of this art is related to chronic pain. You can see the zebra theme as well there. Now you understand why. And I just want you guys to interact with it. Tell us what you see, how you see the theme from your perspective. And then we go to the next one and next one. All right, let's go. Anyone? We'll start with this one. It's called Neuroverse. La Nomad is actually my sister who did this.
Very beautiful.
Maya.
Very beautiful. And I'm reminded of what you shared about neuroplasticity.
Yeah, that's good.
Neuroverse. Wow, it's really beautiful name.
Yeah, so the zebra is like to represent ourselves as people with this neurodivergent as well. And the neuroverse because like we feel like we have our own universe. We think differently and we perceive the world differently than neurotypicals, I feel.
True, very true. We have our own chemistry, our own brain, our own world. Anyone else want to share their thoughts before we move to the next piece?
It's amazing. I don't know what else to say.
I like the name.
Well,
I really like this name, Neuroverse, because actually Neuro is look like a verses because it's really small, tiny thing connected to each other, and it's really huge numbers. So it's kind of mixing it with the space. It's really inspiring and cool.
Zebraverse.
amazing.
Also works.
All right, let's go to the next one. This one is called Melting.
This is I made to represent our problem of proprioception. So we don't really know where we end or where the other thing begins. So that's what I felt like, what I feel. I feel like I don't know my boundaries in this world. So I'm melting everywhere I go.
For me, the easiest way that I found like to understand proprioception is like the awareness of one's own position in space, right?
Yes.
So that's exactly what I saw
Yes.
when I saw this. I felt like when those days where you're just like, oh, where am I? What is it? Which part is it? Yes. So I love it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anyone else before we move on? All right then. Let's go.
The one I don't know, like it seems like it's all pointed to the very center, like the way I'm not good at like critiquing art, but I love like how it all just like seems like it's like chaos from the outside, but it's not so much on the inside. But I don't know. It's kind of, but like when it gets up to the heart, it's more makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I see what you mean. Yeah, definitely. And also opening your heart, having your heart open to the outside world, you know. Amazing.
You
Love
know,
it.
another
So the
thing I
next one
see
is
here,
yeah, tell us.
you know, when I look at this painting, you know, thinking about this experience and this condition, how it just encompasses your world, but it also impacts others in your world too. So everybody that's associated with you is experiencing this on some level with you.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. You're really
Exactly.
true.
Well
Yeah,
said.
that's a very good one. Yeah, very well said. Awesome.
The next one is my favorite one. I like it so much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us what you like about it.
It's a toy. It looked like a toy. I used to have a donkey toy when I was a kid. And it looked like, really cute.
Cute. Yeah,
But the donkey is
Duncan
cute,
said
but
he is
also
with
it's
us.
sad. It's a bit sadness. And lovely where the donkey, or not the donkey, I mean the zebra, like
Yeah.
feeling the pain
Yeah.
with her.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's called Hold My Hands. So definitely represents how the pain and how we need support. We need to be held.
But also, since you've chosen the zebra, kind of to represent this, is showing that the zebra is there to comfort and having that compassion and empathy and understanding. So, kind of an anchor point to relate to.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
To balance the black and white, like in
You'll never in the wild find zebras alone. They're always in herds. For me, there's like it represents of when you find someone else where you go your whole life thinking, oh my goodness, such a weird constellation of small symptoms that add up to a huge mountain, and then you meet someone else with the same thing, and it's such a relief. So I think that's one of the reasons why zebras represent so well is because they don't travel well alone. They're always in herds because you need the support of other people that have similar challenges.
Yeah, good point. Very good point.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, we need to stick together and we need our own herd to find our community. Like when I started engaging with the EDS society in general and taking courses as well from the EDS society, meeting other zebras, I felt connected to them immediately. Like when I tell them about like my deepest, my deepest pain, or like they would relate immediately, tell me how that makes them feel, and I felt seen in a way that like I don't usually feel with people who don't understand this condition as much, because they always maybe have a sense of like it's hard for them to relate, of course, from their own body, but also it's hard for them to understand somebody who looks kind of maybe fine on the outside struggles so much from the inside. So, but other people who are zebras, they really see me. I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel understood, which is a nice feeling. It definitely makes you feel less alone. All right. Loving this engagement, you guys. Keep it going. Let's go to the next one. I love this one. Personally, I just love this one. Fading zebra.
To me, it represents how like the physical things start affecting the emotional system then as well, Sometimes it's just extremely exhausting to struggle with the same things over and over again, and then it sort of bleeds out into the nervous system and you get anxious and whatever it may be, however it comes out. but that's what I see when I see this picture.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anyone else?
I'm thinking that
All right.
maybe there is some people at the entrance. We must bring them here.
Yes.
There are some people, what?
We must, yeah, this.
Okay, I get it. Some people are lost. All right. That was good. Thank you, Luti. I should have made you the host. I forgot. Wait, host to...
I did, don't
I'll add you
worry.
later.
I did, don't worry.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Always Lisbeth on top of things. Amazing.
Yep.
All right, the next one, you guys.
I moved
It's
it by
called
mistake, sorry.
PMD. Oh, don't worry. Here we go. We should lock it, right? Yeah, exactly. So this is called PMDD spirits. Anybody wants to share what they see in this? Josh, you're saying this is your favorite? Spirit molecule. Nice. It is the molecule. Yeah, it's a cellular genetic disorder, so definitely.
Yeah. I also feel like this is the spirit that, with the molecule that makes you take over you, you know, at certain moments.
Yeah, sometimes it's also has the darkness, obviously. Like we talk about it now in good spirit, but there are these days where the dark spirits kind of take over when you're like, it's hard for you to get up. It's hard for you to do like the normal things that you do. And you have to kind of survive those days, you know. They come, these days come, and they're like, some days are really hard. But this spirit still, you still push through, and there's still some light in it, because one side is dark and one side is light. I like that. We are dark and we are light. Exactly, Josh. Brilliant. Awesome. So the next one is a huge one, and I want you to think, why is it so huge? Can you tell me why?
And transparent. Not only
Because it's fabulous. It's so beautiful. It's supposed to be so big, you know. I was quiet until then. I'm sorry, the son of Vina, boom.
It's true. This one is so big because if you move a little bit far from it, you could see it in 3D. It looks like a room. And VR, the artist Scott. Scott, are you here? I don't know if he made it. It would have been nice if he talked a little bit about the technology he used. Told me about it a little bit. But in VR, he said you can get into it. And he has it also in video form where you can actually go inside the room. So this is why it's so big and transparent.
This is augmented reality inside virtual reality. I see it first, really is like break my mind. It's a great idea. The augmented reality in the virtual reality. Cool.
Exactly. So, yeah, exactly. This is really amazing. And relating to the theme, I think in many ways you could see the blurriness that we have in our lives, how it feels sometimes, the dizziness, the migraines, you feel sometimes that you are in this room. So it gives similar feelings to how we feel with this condition as well. Anybody wants to share their thoughts on this one before we move on?
And the transparency to me is that also like it's a hidden, sort of a hidden disability sometimes, you know, that it's not visible from the outside, but only the person experiencing it sees it. So when you change the angle of your screen, sometimes the transparency changes here as well.
Exactly, exactly. Josh is saying life is a spiral, not a straight line.
For me, it means like not transparent to a person. This person can see all your black and whites. But then,
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I really love this piece, and I think it reflects well with the sea behind it, the colors and everything. I think they really work very well. Awesome. Now we're moving to the next piece with Linda. Linda, you're here, right?
this is Linda. This is Linda Hallian.
Yes, Linda Honey.
I see it from miles away.
It's called we placed it right after the room, and it's called Entering.
Yeah, because there's someone entering some place. Okay.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yes, Linda's here, Ines.
I'm here.
Ah, perfect, perfect. Yeah. It's
Are
like
you wanting
entering
Linda to
also.
talk about the piece, or do you want people to comment on it? Sorry, I got confused.
Both. I
Okay.
think maybe we give a few more minutes for people, and then if Linda, you can say something, you would like to say something, it would be awesome as well to hear from the artist.
Sure, I'll do that afterwards.
Perfect. So what do you guys see? Let's go.
I see it as sometimes there's all the like the color that's around it and all the challenges and all the good things that come with it, but it sometimes feels like when you have to enter into the physical space, it feels really dark because you don't know what challenges you're going to face that other people won't understand. So that's what I see there. You're almost taking your baggage with you when you go out. You can't go without it as much as you want to.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Maya saying going into the unknown. Yes. And with this condition, there's so much unknown that we just have to get into it, you know? It's true.
And we each one of us on our own. Elizabeth, go ahead.
We're all.
No, please, Linda, go.
I was just going to say, we all on our own journey, and we don't always know what the darkness is that other people are facing, you know. It's easy to look from the outside and only see the color, but you don't know what that darkness is, what that pain is. And also for the person that's on that journey, they have to at some point face whatever it is in their lives that they need to deal with. And that's where I think, Ines, you're doing such a wonderful thing with your new movement and what you are planning to do with it, because you're helping people walk through that space.
Exactly. Thank you, Linda. That's beautiful. Well said. I really love this piece.
It also sort of represents the darkness of not knowing where to begin, right? So there's so much you need to work on, and one never knows where to start. But it feels really dark, but there's a little bit of light.
Yes.
And yes, like Linda said, by you doing this, I think that light will grow and grow and grow.
I can see a woman entering hell, like things behind on the dark is like fires. A woman entering hell, and but she's holding her wings, and she only can attach the wings on her body by going through hell, through fire, to make the material to put her wings back.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's very
Beautiful.
nice. Awesome. All right, let's keep going then. Thank you, Linda, so much. I appreciate you and your art and being here, and for your few words that you said as well. Amazing to have also the artist perspective. So let's move now to the next one. It's reading between the lines, trying to find myself. One woman. One woman, are you here? I think she should be here. Maybe not. So what do you guys see? Tell us.
What I see in this is where, looking at this painting, it looks kind of distorted. And I think probably when you're dealing with a condition like this, you probably feel this, you probably feel distorted, but people looking at you from the outside may not see what's really going on. So you may look whole and normal, but on the inside, you're feeling the holes and the fractures and the distortions. So sometimes you think people might see what you're feeling, but they don't always see it that way. And so there's that disconnect. So that's what I see in this painting here.
Yeah, that's very well said. I agree. Anyone else?
As Nina also saying that she sees the dissociation in this picture.
Yes, that's a good one. All right, amazing. Let's move on to the next one if nobody has anything. Or we have Nina, the feeling disconnect from our body like it can be sometimes. Absolutely. We all suffer from disconnection because of the amount of pain sometimes reach a threshold where we absolutely disconnect. And we need to learn to reconnect slowly. So this one is by me. Can you imagine? I couldn't help it. I had to participate in this. It's called Bone and Flesh. I'll let you guys go for it. I think it's pretty obvious what it means, but
it's intense.
yeah. Thank you, Nina.
I love the flowers on the head, capturing your personal beauty.
Yes. Beauty in pain. That's actually, maybe I should call it beauty in pain. I think that's such a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
There is always a silver lining. Yeah. Exactly. So for me, it also goes back to the fact that if somebody looks at you from a perspective that you look good, stereotypically maybe healthy, you look like you fit the stereotype. You fit the stereotype of whatever, good or healthy is in their perspective. But they forget that behind, under the skin, under our physical body, there is bone, there's flesh, and nobody can see how that feels except the person. So you might look very healthy, very good, but you might really feel, they could see in her eyes that she's feeling so much pain. And once you see the flesh and the bones, you see her differently because she's a human. She's not only what she appears to be, she's much more than that.
Much more.
Awesome. Thank you, Nina. All right. Not if you guys don't have anything to say more about this, we can move on. Anything? Last thoughts? All right then. Let's go. So this is LM design. And it's called scoliosis fields.
Yeah, I think maybe we forgot to mention that scoliosis is also one symptom of the disease.
Yes, related to EDS. Is the LM design here? So you guys want to say anything about this one?
It
Love the color
represents
usage.
that surrounds, despite the illness, comes with positive energy. So it's sort of designs where she hello, you beautiful souls. She has one of the most positive natures that I've encountered, and I think, despite having a chronic illness or something that lies beneath, you'll always surround yourself and exude positive energy.
Yeah, I love that. Good message. Cool. All right. She actually submitted another piece. You can see it over here. This one is called Stray Thoughts. So what do you guys think?
I think it represents what we feel sometimes we're disconnected from our body, you know, like each joint is by itself, we cannot control.
Yes. And also ADHD symptoms, right? How you have your thoughts separated. You feel also, hard to focus. You have this impulsive thoughts. Everything is like fighting for attention at the same time.
Yeah, I, for some reason, also see earpods, and it's like only you can hear all those thoughts that are going on in your head.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's very good interpretation.
Love it. It's definitely ADHD. Yeah. All right. We have one last piece left, you guys, and then the party starts. So this piece is called Search of Yourself by Oliana. Not sure if Oliana is here. Thoughts about this? Wait,
Who moved
somebody
it?
moved it? No worries.
Maybe you shouldn't make me host.
Remember your words, Lucy. Remember your words.
Yeah, it's very beautiful because
It's
sometimes
also
because it depends on how you feel by the day, by your body, and you know all these chemicals. So sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, sometimes so you have multifaceted uh, uh, way of presenting in your life.
yeah, different versions of you, different days.
Different days, exactly.
Mm.
but also you can consider it as like community and support, you know. You lots of people like you as well.
Yeah, that's true. Amazing. Well, if you guys don't have much more to say about this piece, that would end our art exhibition. Woo!
And we have one more, is the texture I added on the island. It's called zebra snow.
Zebra snow. Awesome.
Ines, did you
All
feed
right.
the
now-
penguin at all?
I didn't feed the penguin, no. How do you feed the penguin?
He's
How do you do it?
frozen now.
You're too
It
late.
doesn't say.
I'm just kidding.
It's dead. No.
Can I drag us back to the front?
Let's go. Let's go now. Listen to the theme song and dance and just chill. And then I can add a few more drops before we put Maxi's amazing Afro house set. Yay, party time, you guys. All right, should I make it louder now? Let's go.
Welcome to InesLand in the Metaverse,
All right, let's
a
dance.
Mediterranean island where the sunset meets the sea. Join with your avatar and show us your true soul. We learn and grow. We share art and hope. We dance to the beat and swim deep in InesLand. We meet